I'm Michelle with 2 L's.
And I'm Natalie the Red.
And we are Force of Light Entertainment. And today we are here to give you our review on something we have waited for 3 years.
Long have we waited.
Yes, that is Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1. Yes, we reacted back in the day, way back in the day, 3 years ago, to the final episode, and what a final that was. Season 4 was awesome.
Yes.
Have been so excited for Season 5, and have had my fingers crossed that the Duffers could stick the landing on a show that I know both of us have loved so much.
We hold dear.
Yes. So today we're going to be discussing, and there will be spoilers. We assume if you're here, you've already seen it. If not, come back after you have. So there will be some spoilers in this, but we're going to give you our thoughts on Volume 1. Before we get started, if you have not yet subscribed to Forcefly Entertainment and you enjoy movie reactions, you enjoy movie reviews and TV reviews and reactions, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also give this video a thumbs up and ring the notification bell. That way you're notified every time we release a new video. Okay, let's talk. Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1. So in this season, we've got, it picks up a year later, and we have something kind of unique, and something I think it kind of took me about, well, I don't know about you now, it took me about 15 minutes maybe to kind of get in the groove of this new season.
Yes, I would agree.
Yes, because it's kind of something unique we haven't seen before. We have all of our characters working together on the same page right from the very beginning. They are all doing their part trying to track down Vecna. Hawkins is under quarantine, and they're trying to find that nasty little Vecna and finish him. Basically,
for once and for all.
Yes, is what our heroes are trying to do at the beginning. But I'm going to move into what I liked about this show, and we'll get into more specifics. But first, I want to say they waste no time in these 4 episodes. They do a good job in that first episode of just, again, kind of reuniting you with the characters you've grown to love and know.
What they've been up to.
Yes, what they've been up to for the last year. And by the end of episode 1, it has really taken off. They wasted no time, and dang, that led into the first episode of or episode 2. My jaw was on the floor.
Yeah, seriously.
With a lot of no's. Yeah. That was great. Of course, everything that goes down at the Wheeler house. And after watching that, I was glad that we watched Poltergeist, because there's a lot of clear inspiration.
Definitely.
In end of episode 1, beginning of episode 2.
I'm glad we watched that as well before. I feel like we kind of get it a little more.
Yes, I feel like just like with season 4, how they so leaned into Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
This feels very Poltergeist in what they were doing in those first 2 episodes. Well, actually, all 4. So you've got that big moment happening in episode 2. Then episode 3, you've got the return of Max. We find where Max is, that she is alive and well in her coma state. And we'll leave that what happens in 4 at the end when we talk. So that's kind of what you have going on in these first 4 episodes. Vecna kind of making his big grand return at the very end there. But I really enjoyed these 4 episodes. Again, it might have taken me 15 minutes to get in the flow of things, kind of just the feel of this new season. And then I just began, again, by the end of episode 1, you were hooked. Excellent writing. And I mean, to the very end of episode 4, I mean, they just kept doing things that you were like, oh, wow, ooh, okay. So I had a lot of fun with this. I mean, at this point, I love all these characters. I'm someone that really hopes that we get a happy ending, as Mike discusses with 11 in episode 1.
Yeah, I think so.
I hope that was foreshadowing what we will get in this season. But yes, thus far, the different storylines have been very interesting. And of course, we see by the end that Will is taking and they start it with Will. In episode 1, that Will, we're finding, there's a little more to Will as well in this season. But yeah, I don't know. I've had a lot of fun with these first 4 episodes. I can't wait for more. Um, I just love the show, and it continues, in my personal opinion, to be top tier writing, and great acting and performances they get as well. So I've had a lot of fun. Natalie, what are the things you enjoyed?
I mean, I'd have to agree that I did really enjoy it. I, like you, I kind of had to get back into it,
Yeah.
kind of find the footing a little bit. But then, once you get back on the ride, it's as they say, it's like a bicycle.
Yeah.
But with Stranger Things. But yeah, no, I'm kidding. But I enjoyed it. I liked a lot of things about it, and I am very excited to see where it goes from here and some of the cans that they've opened up and how that's going to play out for the remainder of the season. So overall, I would say I was very pleased with this first 4 episodes of the season.
So I want to say, let's ask this. What was your biggest surprise of the first 4 episodes? Anything that shocked you, maybe realizing who Vecna's like appearing to these kids? What was your biggest
I'll admit I kind of guessed that.
Okay. Yeah.
that might be what was happening. And not to brag.
I would say my biggest awe moment's definitely the end scene,
But yeah, my mind does go to obviously 2 scenes in particular that kind of take the cake for me for like standout scenes of this first 4 episodes.
Which one?
Okay, so the first 2 that just popped to mind, because I'm not the best retainer of like what I watch, admittedly, but the Mrs. Wheeler scene.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was really good.
And it was it was so well earned. And that's something I think that has to keep being noted, because I do like to give credit where credit is due. The Duffers have had excellent writing in these 5 seasons. Perfect writing, no, that's hard to do in five seasons, but very excellent. And I just feel the reason why the Mrs. Wheeler scene stands out so much is it's a character that's gotten enough screen time that we all love Mrs. Wheeler.
We do.
And I think we've all been ready for her to get in on the action.
Like become a part of it somehow.
Yes. And it just feels so earned, because all throughout these seasons, you have seen the role she plays in her children's lives.
She's a really good mother.
Yes. And her being that mama bear that's going to protect her kid at all costs, we all believe that.
It's believable.
They've all set this up for now into 5 seasons. So it was just it was like they've set it up for 4 seasons, and we got the payoff in this. So I'm just finger crossed she's going to come through.
Well, and because we do, obviously like her and, love her as Mrs. Wheeler at this point, it's nice to see her character get a little more action too, to just show there's more depth to Karen.
Yeah.
She's not just
a wine mom.
Like there's something in there. So I thought that was great to like give her that moment. And
yes,
I loved it. Yeah.
Yes.
I thought that was a great, I mean, I was horrified. Then I was like screaming, no, because I thought, I didn't know, you just never know in a show like that. Maybe that she was, but thank goodness they're alive. Her and dear Ted.
Yeah.
Who made the valiant effort. He was, he tried. We got to give Ted that. He tried his best.
Yeah. So, so that's okay. So Natalie picked that one, that and the Will scene, the very end. That's the biggies for me in this. And we'll get into that. We can get into it now.
Let's get into it.
Yes. So, okay. So, for starters, I want to ask, who is your surprise character? I'm going to go first. Mine's little Derek. I was like, who is this kid and why is he so terrible? And then little Derek, what does Joyce say? It's delightful Derek.
I love it. Yeah, we're rebranding Derek.
Derek was the surprise for me in the first 4 episodes. At first I was like, oh, this kid's too much. He's going to be annoying, but I should have trusted the Duffers who know how to write and endear characters to you. I was endeared every time he would tap a kid on the head.
Or like slap.
Yeah, I just cracked up.
He got me. Yeah.
It was funny.
It's just like physical comedy, I guess. It just works.
Yes. So shout out to Derek, who's my surprise character of the first 4 episodes. But yes,
and I think we'll probably grow to like Derek even more.
Yeah,
delightful
Derek. I would say so too. Okay, moving into that final scene. My goodness. For starters, I want to give the look and the way the Demogorgons move in this is horrifying. They are so like they look great though. So shout out to the CGI for what they did with that. It was some really good CGI in this case. But that whole scene with that many demigorgons coming towards everyone, and then you see this figure walking. I was like, oh, it's Vecna. And yes, so having Vecna come through, and Vecna with the hand through the eyeballs, even. I mean, talk about nasty.
Yeah.
He is not playing in this season.
Vecna did not come to play.
No, Vecna is mad, and yeah, that was ferocious. And then you're just wondering, well, how the heck are they going to get out of this situation? They felt so defeated. The kids they were trying to protect get taken. It feels like all is lost.
Yeah, and they waste all that time. I mean, that had to be extremely frustrating.
Yes, you've got the demigorgons coming at them, and then boom, they freeze, and you see it's Will. And they'd already hinted at this because Mike had already kind of put that in our heads, like, hey, maybe you impacted the demigorgon leaving.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't your mom, but maybe it was you. And us seeing him finally step into that, and literally full Vecna like they crunch.
That was epic.
It was epic.
I loved that.
It was epic.
And I loved Will after all that he's been through and all the trials and the pain and everything, just for him to have that moment of like, wait a minute. Like, I mean, it sounds cheesy, but for him to feel empowered, like, wait a minute, not only do I have something to contribute to the team, like, I'm freaking powerful now.
Yeah.
Like, so I loved that for him. It almost made me emotional.
Well, and it goes back, I'll get into what did make me a little emotional. It goes back to what I'm going to keep saying. I feel like as we go through these different volumes and review and discuss them, it goes back to what I just said about Mrs. Wheeler. We have had 4 seasons of setup with Will and everything he's gone through. And at times him feeling more like a victim, or at times, I mean, because he was of certain situations here and
misunderstood and counted out, and the fragile one.
Yes.
And, just not who he really knows he can be inside.
Which, let's point out, the whole he's the fragile one is BS. Even going back to the very first episode, that kid at 11 years old runs and gets a shotgun to try to defend himself. That is not the actions of like a little coward kid,
We just have to have some Will appreciation,
Yes, but again, the setup has been there for 4 years, which is why that moment worked as well as it worked, because it was the payoff of all this time.
To me, it was a heck of a payoff.
It was. It absolutely was. So I am so interested to see where we go with that. Oh, another big thing we find out, which we as the audience kind of knew before they did, we found out that up in the Upside Down with Hop and 11, who's back there? Who are they using and testing on? 8. And I like that they're bringing 8 back. Of course, 8 being the Lost Sister, being an episode that was so heavily criticized in season 2. But I love the Duffer Brothers finding use for this character that we did spend a whole entire episode with exclusively in season 2. And I mean, she was in more than that, but I like that that's coming back. So now we've got 11, we've got 8, and we've got Will being able to tap into Vecna's powers. I think we're set up for very interesting things. Also, I've already been looking into it from the musical, but we've got, why is Vecna so terrified of those caves and won't go in there where Max is?
Right. What memory is that?
Yes, which I'd say I'll be interested to see what we get in volume 2, possibly.
Yeah.
But there's just so much set up here. But each episode sets up the next episode, but you're also getting payoff in each one. There's like setup and payoff in each of these episodes, and it really is just shaping up to be one big, massively long movie.
Yeah.
The way these are done. So I'm really enjoying it. Oh, I mentioned the one thing that kind of made me emotional actually was when they did the flashback of Mike and Will. The little kids. It was sweet.
It's so sweet.
It was. Yeah. They got really 2 little cute actors to play them too, but it was sweet.
Childhood.
Yes, yeah. It was very sweet. But I loved volume 1. If you can't tell, right now I'm a 5 out of 5. It's a very different feel than season 4. And I love season 4. Season 4 for me
is one of my favorites.
It's right behind season 1 for me. So this season feels different, but yet it feels just as epic in a way, and is just as intriguing. So I'm loving it, Natalie.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far too. And I think just with the town being involved now,
Yeah.
obviously this has reached like a bigger scale. So this is just like world domination type level stuff. So it's like, obviously it's intensified and intensified. But I think, that's part of the fun and why obviously I'm believing they are going to defeat Vecna, obviously.
Heck yeah.
But
Vecna's going down.
It just builds it, being exciting.
Yes.
When that does happen and satisfying.
Definitely.
But did you have any critiques you wanted to touch on?
My only critiques of this season actually would be but it's not just to Stranger Things. It's more like, now I still, because they definitely have their own style and kind of the way they break scenes up, which I still love and is still very much there. My only critique, this would be a really nitpicky critique. Sometimes the camera is so smooth looking that I feel like it's kind of lost kind of the realism of season 1. And I prefer that kind of more realistic looking video that we can get. But I feel like a lot of shows have done that. That was kind of a problem I had with Wednesday season 2. I don't know. That's being real nitpicky, but just kind of the cinematography, or not cinematography, just the way it looks sometimes is a little too smooth, a little too glossy for my liking. But that's a real nitpick here.
The other thing I'll say is I think it's great to have such a big cast and there's so much going on, but the only downside of that is
there is a big cast.
Everybody's got their favorites. That's different for different people, obviously. But you might wish like, oh, I hope this character, they got a little more of the emotional screen time on the side, or like to hang out with their character, but maybe it goes to another one that you're not as interested in and the time is spent there. But it's just when you have that many people with stories and personal lives and all that going, like, you're not going to be able to cover everybody or make everybody happy, right? Or equally.
Yeah, that's
not like a major thing. It's just an observation.
Yeah, it's a lot, but I think they do pretty good pacing of bouncing around the different stories. So I've enjoyed it. I know Natalie has too.
Oh yeah, totally.
But yeah, that's I guess our only two little gripes we could even come up with.
We try and be fair, give a balanced review.
But yes, so I'm giving Out of Our Hoot System 5 out of 5 for volume 1. I'm already rewatching it and picking up things maybe I missed the first time. Really love it. Can't wait till Christmas Eve when we get the next part.
I mean, I know amongst, I want to give it a 5 out of 5, but so far, just with the first 4, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Whatever.
I mean, it's not that much of a drop.
Whatever. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5.
It might be a 5 by the end with the whole story. We'll see.
Yes. So that's our thoughts on Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1. Be on the lookout. We actually recorded our reaction to episode 4, and that should be out in just a day or two. So definitely check that out when it comes. But what do you guys think of Stranger Things Volume 1, Season 5? Share your thoughts below. And if you have not yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also give this video a thumbs up. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, remember to be a force of light. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.